there was a story that Tupac, being a gun aficionado and one of the guys who were fascinated with guns, you know, that he gave you one of his pistols. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you elaborate on it?
Well, basically, the pistol was just to protect him. And this came on the heels of after his mom and my mom privately told me that if I'm going to be with him, make sure nothing happens to him, or else if something happens to him, you can't come home.
Right.
You know? So that's when it became my responsibility to carry his gun. Watani was always, you know, always had
Ready to go
too.
Okay.
Watani was the security expert.
Right.
But me, because I was, if Watani was with him and I'm with him, I need to have that thing on me. So I would have it on me, and I didn't have a problem using it. You know, I wasn't as sophisticated with it as Pac was.
Okay.
You know, Pac was trained to, you know, handle firearms.
Okay.
I had not been trained to that extent like Pac had.
So what kind of gun was it?
A Baby 9.
Baby 9.
Very popular. Baby 9s was
smaller.
Yeah, smaller. It fits in your pocket.
Right.
It's inconspicuous. Nobody can see it.
Right.
The butt ain't gonna be hanging out the end of your pocket.
Okay.
You know, and I just loved the feel of it. You know, it fit my hand perfectly.
Right.
You know, so.
So he gave you a Baby 9.
He gave me.
Do you still have it?
No, I don't. I wish, maybe so. I don't know. It's probably in his archive. I never sold it.
You know.
So, it's probably in his archive.
Right. No, that's interesting. No, it's interesting that he would give you a gun. You know what I mean? Like, you know, out of all of the gifts that you could give somebody, right? Yeah. Or just being around him, and like you say, your mother and his auntie. I mean, your auntie basically saying that, you know, if you're gonna be around him, you got to make sure he's safe.
Damn well better make sure he's safe.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting, man. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Las Vegas again. There's been a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation, a lot of lies, a lot of everything in regards to the death of Tupac Shakur. What do you think happened? And who do you think killed Tupac?
Well, first of all, I want to say that shit could have been avoided. Number one. I think that Pac was killed because no one at that scene was thinking clearly. Number one, no one was thinking. I think Pac's death was indicative of the condition of our mindset. You know, that we are the only set of people, the only community that kills people in our community that can actually help us, our heroes.
Right.
Like, we kill our heroes.
Right.
Right? People that we love and admire, we kill them in the street as if they were our enemy, as if they violated our families or something.
Right.
I don't get that.
Right.
Also, I like to say that, you know, the OGs that was in the car with Orlando,
right,
could have done something about that shit to prevent that from happening. So I place the blame at their feet.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because if I was in the car with Pac, if the shoe was reversed, I would have took that pistol from him. That would not have happened. Right. You know, where we all are going to agree to get in a car and go kill someone in another car.
Right.
You know, if I'm the oldest person in the car.
Right.
I'm not going to agree to that shit. Right. And if I'm the oldest person in the car, it's probably not going to happen.
Right.
You dig?
Yeah.
That's how I look at that.
Okay.
Another way I look at it is when we hear about Pac's death, we forget that since Pac has been murdered, count how many other hip hop artists has been murdered.
Right.
You notice the pattern?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's say maybe 1,000.
Right.
We hear about another hip hop artist murdered almost every month. Right?
Known or unknown?
Known or unknown.
Right.
Throughout the entire world.
Right.
right? What does that say about our culture that needs to be addressed? I contend that what needs to be addressed in our culture is mental illness.
Right.
It's lack of spirituality.
Right.
Lack of respect.
Right.
Lack of love. Lack of tolerance, which are all the reality. Everything else outside of that is a fantasy. It's a delusion. It's a lie.
Right.
So that's what I think.
Right.
I look at it from a broader perspective. I don't look at it from the little minor detail perspective that people like to see. People like to entertain Crips, blood shit. I don't entertain that shit.
Right. Right.
What we living with is a human condition.
Right. It's a human condition.
It's not a blood or Crip condition.
Right.
It's not a black or white condition.
It's a human condition.
It's a human condition.
Yes.
That what we dealing with.
Right.
And it's based on the delusion that we're not one, when we are actually all just one.
Right.
You know, that's just the truth.
Based on a subculture.
Based on the
something,
subculture.
yeah, you know, blood, Crip.
Filled with lies,
Right,
and
right,
deceit,
right,
delusion. Right. Now, what I'm saying is a little bit metaphysical. It's a little bit.
It's a fact. I mean, when you think about the things we come to accept and believe,
right,
it's a belief system.
Yes.
Right. And like I said, and you know, based on the fact that even from the Panthers, when the blood and the Crip thing kind of came into effect, it kind of pilfered and, you know, kind of to the Panther thing from that into what that was. And the divisiveness with the COINTELPRO, like they said, they had East Coast COINTELPRO guys going against West Coast COINTELPRO guys, and the same difference between the Bloods and the Crips from that perspective.
Well, you've been doing your studying, ain't you, man?
Not only that,
man.
But not only that, but
God damn.
But no,
you said that better than I could have.
And no, but one more thing I wanted to ask you, because this is one of the questions that people keep asking, and you know, from your knowledge, did Tupac have his bulletproof vest in Vegas with him that night that he got murdered?
I don't know. I heard he did.
Okay,
but I wasn't there. I was like, again, I was in jail. Word is born. I was in jail.
Right.
You know, but I heard he had his vest, but he didn't want to wear it.
Right.
Because it was too hot.